Okay, I'm going to admit something. I do not understand people who do not care about other people. And I'm not talking about people who look like them, who vote like them, who worship like them. I'm talking about people who are different from them. I do not understand people who do not care about people who are different from them. Part of it is just being a human being. Like, as a human being, um, I understand the struggles, um, the wins, the losses, the inherent humanity of people who are different from me. I understand that. I understand that they have families that they are trying to feed. Um, but in this country, we've always bragged about being a great melting pot. I guess that's only true as long as the ingredients in that melting pot come from Europe. I can trace my ancestry back to this country to 1634, which is really not a noble thing when you think about it. My ancestors came here likely because they were Puritans or some religious fanatics. But they came here very early on. They were clearly desperate people. They were desperate to create better lives because there was nothing here for them in relation to what they would have had in England. They left that behind because they wanted some new kind of freedom. They wanted a better future for themselves and their families. And isn't that what America is supposed to be? This is 1634, 150 years before there was the United States of America. But I'm hesitant to talk about that because I don't want to forget about the impact that people like my ancestors had on our indigenous folks. Okay, so that's something we have to acknowledge. But for those of us who did migrate here, whose relatives came here from other places, who are we to judge whether or not other people are now worthy of coming into our country? We all benefited from immigration. We benefited from seeking refuge, and suddenly it's not good enough for people because let's be honest, because they're brown-skinned and they speak a different language. There was a time when Irish people were not welcome. There was a time when Italian people were not welcome and German people. Those times have passed, and now you want to make brown-skinned Spanish people illegal? Get a fucking life. Get over yourselves. America is a melting pot. We are made of diversity. And this new national security release that was made quietly on Friday, which basically remakes America's foreign policy and puts it to the right of Russia, is an absolute disgrace and abomination. What our country under the Trump administration 2.0 is doing is betraying our allies, betraying Europe, betraying the order that was established at the end of World War II, and siding with the enemy, siding with the aggressor, siding with Putin, siding with that fucking KGB lieutenant colonel motherfucker who kills anyone who disagrees with them, that brutalist. Our country is deciding to side with him over legitimate, independent nation states like Ukraine, who Russia has invaded and has been trying to overthrow for almost 3 years. I do not recognize America anymore. I do not recognize this country. I sure as hell do not recognize our foreign policy. Marco Rubio, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the hell have you signed on to? You are betraying NATO. You are betraying all of our European allies. You, Trump, Stephen Miller, Steve Bannon, Project 2025, you all look to Russia as something to aspire to. Ask the Russian people how that's worked out for them. It's worked out great for the oligarchs, and that seems to be the only group that you care about. The billionaire class, the mega million class or the billionaire class. Those are your constituents. The actual hardworking, everyday Americans, you could give no fucking shit about. You couldn't give a shit about them. You couldn't give a shit about us. You've already cut $1 trillion in our healthcare. While you're giving tax breaks to the wealthiest people, you've let Elon Musk, the richest man on the planet, go through the American government's departments and strip away hundreds of millions of dollars of funding for actual legitimate programs that help people and save lives. So this country right now, America is lost. We are, for all intents and purposes, a satellite nation of Russia. Trump has always been beholden to Putin, but that has never been more obvious than it is now. When our national security comes out with foreign policy points that distance us from our European allies, distance us from NATO, and align us with Russian authoritarianism, oligarchy, anti-democracy, and all of this traditional values bullshit. It's white Christian nationalism cloaked in patriotism, and it really falls under the banner of Mother Russia. It's not America. It's not any America that I recognize, but it is Putin's Mother Russia. And I guess we should all learn the lyrics to the Russian national anthem, because that's what we're going to be singing. Because Putin is actually our leader right now. Trump is a fucking puppet. It's Putin and Project 2025.